Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today we had a series of network challenges trying to go live at about 8 p.m. and it wasn't possible, but we're up now. We know it's late, but we decided to keep up with the Ask Osita series. For those who are live, you can get to watch, ask your questions, and interact with me. For those who are not awake now, we hope tomorrow, day after, you can go back and watch this on our timeline. Today we want to talk about according Onitsha, Nnewi, and our two business cities, the required status as commercial hubs. And then also I will use the opportunity to talk about the apprenticeship support scheme and my plan to make Anambra State an e-commerce and logistics hub. So Onitsha has the biggest market in West Africa, and it's a story we like to repeat on and on. We like to talk about Onitsha market, but you must agree with me if you've been to Onitsha, that visiting Onitsha market, the gap between the image of Onitsha market and the reality of Onitsha market is such a wide gap. So I think that we need to go back and look at our market and look at our trade. Our trade has to come up to the 21st century. Nnewi is known for his industrial commercial nerve center of Anambra State. Nnewi is reputed to have the largest number of millionaires in Africa per capita. Nnewi is also known to be the home of many industrial moguls in Anambra State. But the future of trade and commerce in Nigeria, the future of trade and commerce in Anambra State is a future that has so many factors impacting on it. So number one, I want us to focus more on the future than lamenting about the past. The first thing we need to understand is that the internet is impacting the way we trade, the way we work, the way we live. So it must become obvious to all of us that the idea of our markets, the idea of trade is changing every day. We are moving from bricks and mortar shops to e-commerce centers. And I believe that that's one factor we must bear in mind as we talk about commerce in Anambra State. The second part that is impacting it is the presence of large multinationals who are in the retail business. So we have a company like ShopRite in Nigeria. We have Game in Nigeria. And behind Game, if I'm correct, is Walmart coming into Nigeria behind Massmart, the owner of Game. So at the end of the day, we're going to find that people gradually migrate to those big shopping malls like it has happened in developed countries where you can buy anything you can think of. And those companies are well capitalized with huge sums of money that the cost of their products are far less than the mom and pop shops we have who are selling small items and who go to trade in China with $500,000, $1 million. These guys, Walmart is trading with $400, $500 million worth of trade with their Chinese manufacturers. So they are going to impact in the way we do business as they continue to roll out. At the last count, I'm sure we're getting close to 20 ShopRite business shops in Nigeria, and that will impact the way we do business here. The third thing that will impact the way we do business is the development of logistics. So logistics is growing. People are going to be able to move goods from one end to the other through airports, seaports, road, last mile, even with motorbikes, and with great visibility to the person who has ordered the goods. So you go to DHL now, you put on your tracking number, you will see at what point the goods left one warehouse, at the point it gets to the airport, at the point it lands in another location until it finally gets to you. So with that visibility, people don't feel the urge to go to the market because you can order any goods And Nigerian companies like God is Good and a few others are also beginning to offer that service, where you can have great visibility on your products moving on the road. So now, looking at these three impacts, the idea of markets will have to change. And for us to change it, we need a government that can think through the infrastructure we need to promote this type of trade, think about the human beings we need to power this type of trade, and support the businesses that can change the way we trade in and around our state. So for our state not to be left behind, for it not to become a relic of the past, we need to begin to invest in the future. So what is my game plan? As governor of Anambra State, I will invest, first of all, massively in redoing the physical infrastructure in the market. Building roads inside the market, building facilities for people to come into the market, have good eating area, have good restrooms, have good car parks, and then good warehouses to allow our traders to be able to pack their goods very well. Now, with those in place, we will then go to the next stage of providing high-speed internet facility in the market. We need to put in high-speed internet facilities that are going to make it possible for people not to download large videos and images, but focus more on things like their WhatsApp, on their web portals for trade. And we believe that that will be revolutionary. It will allow Anambra people to take their goods, put it on WhatsApp, market it to people across the country and the West African region, and be able to consummate online sales. We're going to follow that up with making sure that the cashless policy that has led to a lot of POS systems in the market, we will sustain it, because the POS systems will be running on that Wi-Fi, making sure that all our markets are connected, and making sure there are very limited chances of failure for those who distrust the POS system. But beyond the POS will be those money transfers, money payment mechanism. A lot has happened in our banking industry that we can benefit from by allowing ourselves to have access to the global markets. Now, the third part will be that because we are going to be working on our markets, we're going to look at all our motor parks across Anambra State. And we're going to encourage the motor parks to become some form of logistics hub. So we know that the trucks, the buses that are going for small packages, we will be expecting the buses to take those small packages to the next destination. For the big goods, we will expect the trucks to queue up, and we'll put on a tracking system that will create visibility and tell us what trucks are available, what destinations are available, how much they charge to their destination, so that people that are ordering goods online will have clear visibility on when their goods will leave Anambra State and when it will get to its destination. So I believe that the government, working with the people of Anambra State, will be able to create private businesses around this endeavor. I want to see more Anambra young people writing their apps to be able to help traders to place their goods online. So they will create web portals, they will create payment engines that will make it possible for our traders to work very well. Now, the key part of it is that we need to deal with the infrastructure part, then we need to deal with the human part. But the most important part of it is that we're going to bring in a local private equity firm into Anambra State. And we're going to try to access all the federal government loans that are available for trade, for commerce, and for industry. A lot of money is available there, which, partnering with a state, with a private equity firm, and with the federal and with the state government putting some money down, we can begin to seed businesses that will be employers of labor in Anambra State. So I think that we need to begin to rethink the concept of a market and begin to think about it as an agglomeration of businesses that will continue to exist even in the data age. So with that in mind, it means that we have to rethink the apprenticeship scheme in Anambra State. So we have a problem now that Anambra young people are no more learning trade in the market. They're trading some more quick wins, quick shortcuts to riches. But we need to return them to the markets if we want to grow the next generation of businessmen. And we need to align them with their mentors. We need to align them not just with mentors alone, but we're also providing them with credits, low interest credit, free credits to take off in their business. But for them to do that, they have to be registered in the apprentice support scheme. They have to attend to go to our, what I will call our off-cycle schools. So we're going to reintroduce evening education, and we're going to introduce weekend education to teach them basic business skills and basic skills that will make them viable entities in the global business arena. So I think that what needs to happen in our state, what needs to happen is that we need to have a forward-thinking government. And well, if I get me funding Azuafia in Anambra State, it was Azuafia kita abrozi to get Azuafia in the next 10 years. Unu na anyo na funu umuaya da gazanafia, umuaya da muziafia, makani umuafia kita anua, abrozi fendi mwadi na ichekubi, umusiafia na nko ogagi, ogami eduga afia, umusiafia na nko ogagi, ubudo go fife mena umusiafia. But no na etinye this apprenticeship support scheme, umuasi na babo ye register afa na the scheme. Inona nyen akonye na umuafia, imugodi 3 years or 4 years. Odura aga afia, state government ge wote ego nyegi, ki wetinye bida afia ge. Mana tupi ibido nyeba afia, iga aga school, state government iga set, oh, just school afa abro nke ikuziba akwụkwọ ka iburo onye na-eje secondary school or university. No kama ka inwe ki manage a business, malo ka esi register business, malo ka esi account for ego ịzụta n'afia, malo ka esi eje online jiri aka gị order a feature from China. So the future of our state is a future that will be determined by our investment in the right infrastructure. The current investment we are making in the state is the infrastructure of yesterday. We are building the roads without thinking about what it is that will be the enablers for the human resource in Anambra State. My major goal in as governor is to unleash the huge potential of the Anambra human resource base. We need to unleash that potential. We need to give our young people the reason to exist. We need to make them understand that government works for them. We need to make them understand that our investment in infrastructure will be to give them the capacity to become economic agents. Our people's feeling of alienation in our country, Nigeria today, is worsened by the fact that our states in the southeast haven't understood the importance of the human capital we have. And my covenant with Indian Anambra is that that human capital will be the basis of our government, making it compulsory for every child to go to school from elementary 1 to JS3, making sure that early child education, early child development is the focus of our government, and making sure that after JS3, if you want to learn to trade, we will make sure that you are aligned with a good master who will teach you the trade, but more importantly, we will educate you and we will make sure you have mentors who will make sure they continue to advise you as you develop in your business. The state can become a business enabler. Most of the business that you see in China is enabled by the government. The people that say that government have no business in business are getting it not fully correct, because the idea of government is to make sure you create equal opportunities, is to make sure you create level playing field, and is to make sure that you enable business. So when we have a government that decides that what he needs to do is to stay on the billboards and talk about what they are doing, then we know that that government has lost focus. It has lost the reason to exist. A government that rules from billboards and from PR documents and from television programs cannot work for the people of Anambra State. We need a government that will roll its sleeves, that will enter our markets, that will rebuild our markets, that will make trade fairs to become a regular feature of our state. I will work with the Anambra State Chamber of Commerce and make sure that every month one trade section in Anambra is doing an exhibition, a trade fair, to bring more visitors into our state, to encourage more Nigerians that Anambra is truly home for all. People are afraid to come to our state because the difficulty in going to our market, the debts in our market, the poor management of our system. We cannot exist like this in the 21st century. And I believe that the people are ready to move on to the next level. It's just that we have a government that is backward, a government that is designed to rule just on the pages of newspaper. What we need today is a government that will roll its sleeves, go into the markets, go into what matters to the people, and deliver real value to our people. And I speak like this because I understand the challenges of developing a government that cares for the people. So, in dealing with our markets, like I said, we will apply our pyramid 4-step approach. We will seek to know. We will seek for knowledge. We will take inventory of all our markets. We will take a snapshot of how our markets look, and we will create a picture of how we want our markets to look. We will create a shared vision. We will map out a vision. Our knives product, our knowledge, vision, execution, and sustainability requires us to get a shared vision with our traders. Once we have a shared vision, we are going to execute seamlessly. We are going to execute relentlessly to make sure we create value. And once we execute, we are going to work for sustainability to ensure that whatever we do today will remain sustained. So we need to go through regulatory framework. We need to organize the markets into cooperatives. We need to organize the markets into systems that work to make sure that we sustain it. Anambra State will then become not just a trade center, not just a person with the largest market in West Africa, but truly an African success story, a market that is available to the global audience via the internet, a market that is available to the whole country via e-commerce and logistics. I don't think Nigeria, Ndibo, must cede the e-commerce space to the developments that is going on today in Yaba, Lagos. If we do not move early to make sure that Anambra State regains its rightful as a trade hub of Nigeria by creating an e-commerce center, then we'll be losing out at great opportunities. So today, I have told you 3 key things we will do. We will physically rebuild our markets to make sure that it's welcoming and accommodating of people who come here to trade. But we'll also make sure that our markets are not constrained by our geography. We will make sure that we provide free internet services in our market to ensure that our traders can project their goods beyond their markets. And thirdly, we will bring an apprenticeship support system, a support scheme, to ensure that our next generation of businessmen are properly mentored, properly trained, and prepared for the future of business. So the apprenticeship support scheme will be to be built on top of our market system, on top of our e-commerce, on top of our logistics business. It is going to be a symbiotic relationship, bringing logistics, trade, and the human beings together to unleash the potentials of Anambra State. In the Anambra, even now you know that on November 18th, Utano tunye vote ebe selisiago, makana muwa bosi tachidoka, ga-eme ka ọdịmma ndị Anambra bụrụ ife izizi ga-adị na tebụl. Ife anyị ga na-ekwu na Nigeria bụ maka ọdịmma ndị Anambra. Gọọmenti anyị amachi from billboard, anyị ga-achị from the markets, anyị ga-achị from the schools, anyị ga-achị from the hospitals. You will see us everywhere because we will not be on the billboards. Ndị Anambra will be our billboards. Wherever they go in the country, they will proudly say, I am from Anambra State, where things work, where government works. And we have the capacity, we have the potentials to make that work. So, Anma Yunu, on November 18th, vote for UPP on November 18th. Voting for UPP means that you are voting for the future of Ndibo. It means that you are voting for the courage and the boldness of Ndibo. It means that you are voting against those who have said they will relegate us to second class, who have said that we are unequals in an equal country. It means that you are voting against those who have subjected themselves as slaves to people outside of Igbo land. Our vote on November 18 for UPP is a vote for Ndibo. It is the loudest referendum we can do to tell Nigerians this is where we stand. We believe in Disiago. We believe in self-determination. We believe that our people should go out to Abuja and say to the people in Abuja, this is what Ndibo wants. A vote for UPP is the best referendum we can conduct on November 18. It will be the loudest message to the whole country that Ndibo are ready for the next stage of our engagement with the country. So I'm my new Dubai, I want to vote on November 18. Ka our markets bule ebe ndị mmadụ ga-eje obi anwere adịfa n'obi ka ijezi afịa ya libe ebe a na-ata afụfụ, and ka our next generation of traders and businessmen bụrụ ndị azụrụ azụ n'ime business, ndị akwadoro by government to become truly a home for all and a business for all for ndị be anyị. Daalụ.